Hi guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be looking at past paper questions for 0478 Computer Science. In today's video we are going to be only tackling the paper 1 theory questions, and let's see how many questions we can do in today's video, but I'm going to try to do as many questions as possible. So let's begin. The first question is about softwares. We're looking at the freeware and the shareware. So I'm just going to get this because I have to tick, and for the ones that are going to be like writing, I'm just going to be saying them because I can save much more time and go over many more questions. So the first one, which says software source code that can be freely accessed and can be modified as required. So if you can freely access it and modify it, then we know it's a free software. All the features of the full version of the software are not made available. The full version needs to be purchased. Okay, so if the whole thing must be purchased, then it's a shareware. The original software is subject to all copyright laws. Okay, now this one, there can be two actually, because also shareware is copyright laws because you cannot use their thing unless you've purchased it. And also freeware comes into this, so it's both of them for this. And it is possible to distribute modified versions or copies of the software to friends and families. So here it's friends and families, not to the public outside. So therefore I think this will be free software. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, let's move on. It says hexadecimal codes use MAC addresses. Okay, MAC address is simply media access control. So right here you would say media access control. Okay, next is explain what the hexadecimal code in MAC addresses represent. Now we know that the use of hexadecimal code is MAC address. So what is this MAC address? So now MAC address is a hardware address or a physical address that usually consists of 48 to 64 bits and has about 12 to 16 hexadecimal digits. Okay, and we can say that it's a unique address with the network whenever a device or computer is connected. So that will give you 3 marks, and let's move on. The next one talks about the sensors and sensors in computer science. Okay, so let's look at this. So draw a line to link each sensor to the most appropriate application. Okay, so let's start with the light sensor. So light sensor would probably be okay, let's look at this step by step. So monitor the pollution levels in a river. Nope, you cannot use light for monitoring pollution levels. Control the switching off and off of street lights. Yep, that would be correct. It monitors lights, and then if it becomes night it will switch on, such like that. We'll need light sensors. The next one is moisture sensors. So no pollution levels. Intruders, no, that's probably pressure sensor. Monitoring the amount of water left. Okay, yep, this is because it's involving water, and moisture is related to water, so probably this would be the best answer. The next one is the gas sensor, and I think gas sensor would be the pollution levels because this would be the best suitable gas sensor. The next one is speed sensor. That would be acidity. So right here we can already see acidity, so we move to acidity. The next one is a pressure sensor, and I told you before, pressure sensor is for intruders. When it monitors a pressure sensor, it can ring an alarm. Okay, the next one is automatic doors in a building are controlled by the use of infrared sensors. Okay, infrared sensors and a microprocessor. Describe how the sensors and the microprocessors are used to automatically open a door as a person approaches. Now, I would say that the sensor will send a signal to the microprocessor. Okay, when this sensor is activated, when it realizes, or when it has found a good match or a presence of a person, you can say if a sensor indicates the presence of a person, it will send a signal to the microprocessor, and therefore then the microprocessor we can send a signal maybe to the actuator, and the actuator then can use a motor to open the door, or can use any other operation to open the door. So that's how it works. We start with the sensors. The sensor detects the presence of a human. After it detects the presence of a human, it will send a signal to the microprocessor, where the microprocessor, once receives the information, it will maybe compare the signal with the preset or stored values. Like maybe if you have programmed it to say that whenever a person is detected, then do this. So after it's detected this and has checked or compares this signal data with the stored value, then it will send to the actuator, where then the actuator can use a motor to open the door. Okay, so that's how everything works there. Let's look at number 4. Nikita wishes to print out some documents and connects her printer to the computer using one of the USB ports. Okay, so we know USB ports is only one way, therefore this will be serial data transmission. Give 3 reasons for using a USB port. Okay, so number 1, it can say this is almost similar to okay, yeah, this is actually USB when you connect the USB cable, so it has almost the same features. So number 1, it automatically detects whenever you connect the USB, or whenever you install drivers or something, whenever you plug it. The next one is that so we've done one. The next one we can say is that it only plugs one way, so this can avoid data being corrupted when when putting it into the device. So it can prevent errors when putting it in, because it only plugs in one way. The next one, it is backwards compatible, making it very easy to plug in USB ports. So also one can be, yeah, okay, that's good. So the printer runs out of paper while it is printing the documents. A signal is sent to the processor to request that the problem is dealt with. Now this one I know is interrupt. This is a signal sent to the processor to stop whatever it's doing and fix the issue. Then we also have buffers. You guys can watch that video relating to interrupts and buffers. Okay, the next one is state one suitable application for each printer below. Okay, so we have 2 types of printers. This is under the section of output. So a different application must be given for each printer. So we need to give an application for both. Okay, let's start with the inkjet. So the inkjet is simply, maybe you can say, small quantities of documents. You can print small documents, or you can also print photographs. Okay, with a 3D printer, you can use a physical model from a blueprint, or you can also make a prototype. Okay, so you can do anything. So the best way to answer this is one right here, 3D, something 3D, a 3D model, and here would be just a document, a small quantity of documents. The next one is name another type of printer and describe one way in which it is different from the printers named in part B. So I have to name another printer. Now already what comes to my mind is the laser printers. So the laser printers, the laser printers. So the laser printers, what is the description? The laser printer is basically something that uses toner ink or powder ink, and basically it's very fast at printing. It does not use a printer. It does not have any moving head. It also it uses rotating drums to print, and yeah, it's high speeds. It can produce magazines, all that, and yeah. So your application would be probably to produce magazines, leaflets, flyers, and so on and so forth. So the description would be uses toner ink, no moving head, very fast at printing, so you can write any within that description. Okay, the next one is number 5. A computer controlled machine produces plastic sheets. Okay, the thickness of each sheet must be within the certain tolerance. Okay, the sheets are kept below 50 degrees as they move over the rollers at 10 meters per second. 3 parameters need to be monitored at all times. Okay, so this one involves logic circuits, but I'm not going to be doing the logic circuits for now. But in a future video, I will be covering the entire logic circuits, because it will be really hard to actually draw the logic circuits and also, do all of that. So I think I'll just move on with the theory part. Okay, the next one is number 6, which talks about the secure socket layer, and state how it's possible for a user to know that a website is secure. Okay, number 1, you can look at maybe the if it has HTTPS S, okay, if it has HTTPS, that S right here, which means secure, then you know it is secure. And yeah, that's one of the best ways to look at one. Now describe 3 of the stages a web browser goes through to detect whether a website is secure. Okay, so number 1, it will request the web server to send a certificate, okay? And then when it receives the certificate, it will check if it's trustworthy, and then after that it sends a signal back to the web server if it's trustworthy, and then it starts to transmit data to the connection, and therefore you can then start using your personal information between the web server. So basically it's all related to the SSL certificate. If it is authorized, if it is trustworthy, then it is okay. So let's move on. Number 7, each seat on a flight is uniquely identified on a LCD above the seat. Okay, so we have a unique identified number on the LCD above the seat. For example, seat 035C is as shown. Okay, the first 3 characters of the digits that represent the row. So the first 3 digits, so 035 is the row, and the 4th digit is the seat position. Okay, A to F. That is stored as a hexadecimal value. Okay, so for each 4 display characters can be stored a 4-bit register. For example, 0 and C would be represented as 000, so C would be 1100. Show how the 4-bit register would store the remaining 2 characters, 3 and 5. Okay, so you can use the same way. How can we get 3? 1 plus 2 is 3, so 1 1 0 0 would give me 3. How can I get 5? If I do 4 plus 1, it gives me 5. So 1 0 1 0. Okay, that will give me my answers. Let's move on to B. Okay, identify which seat stored the following 8-bit registers. Okay, so the first one would just be 1. What you can do for this question is on top just write 1 2 4 and 8, and every time 1 is found you just add it. Okay, so here is just 1, so 1. Here is 1 plus 8, which is 9. Here is 4, and here is 2 6 plus 8, which is 6 plus 8, sorry, 2 plus 4 is 6, and then yeah, 6 plus 8, which is 14, and 14 in hexadecimal would be E, right there like that, because 15 would be F, so that would be there. Okay, then let's move on. Number 8, which says a bank offers an online service to its customer. The bank has developed a safe-to-use system that asks each customer to enter 4 randomly chosen characters to form their password each time they log in. From their, sorry, not to form, but from their password each time. Okay, so the customer selects these 4 characters and then drop down boxes. For example, please select this. Okay, explain why it is more secure to use drop-down boxes rather than entering characters using keyboard. So, okay, so for this question, you would involve spyware. Okay, to avoid spyware, we use the drop-down menus because spyware simply it locates or tracks the key presses, and if you don't have key presses, it can avoid this and can be safer. Okay. And also this can basically stop the key presses from being recorded because of spyware. The next one is give a reason why the system asks for 4 characters chosen at random. Okay, so this can be involving maybe for hacking. It can become harder for the hacker to get the personal information because all the characters, because you know it's very hard for the hacker to get it at once, and it makes it very difficult for the hackers to get the password. Next, the biometrics is an additional form of security. It gives you examples of biometrics. So this is basically, you know, your normal day-to-day, like on your phone nowadays, everything has fingerprint sensors or scanners, and then Face ID or facial recognition. It can also have voice recognition, but it's not that common with phones. And yeah, then there's also the retina scanner. So you can name 2 from those 4. Okay, the next one is check digits are used to ensure the accuracy of the entered data. So you have this, and the check digit is calculated as follows. So you're given how to calculate the check digit, and it's saying calculate the check digit for the following number. Show all your working. Okay, so this question is quite long because what you have to simply do is every time, like 4, you do 4 times 1, and then 2 times 2, 4 times 3, 1 times 4, because every digit in the number is multiplied by its digit position. So this is the first digit, the second digit, third, okay, this is the position, the third, okay, and so on and so forth, and we have to find this digit. Okay, so it will be something to find with this. Okay, and then it says that the 7 results are then added together, so I'll add all of this together and divide the total by 11. Okay, so after I divide by 11, the remainder gives the checked digit. Okay, and that, if the remainder is 10, the checked digit is x, then it'll be this. So let's do this. Okay, so the first one is 4 times 1, which is 4, plus 2 times 2, which is also 4, then 4 times 3, which is 12, so I'll do plus 12, and then I have 1 times 4, which is 4 again. Okay, then I have 5 times 5, which is 20. Oh, sorry, not plus 1 second. I'm really sorry, I'm using my mouse, that's why I was avoiding writing before too. But this is 5 times 5, which is 25, and then anything multiplied by 0 is 0, so plus 0, and then finally 8 times 7, because this is the 7th value, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7th value, 8 times 7, which is 56. Then after you've got this, you would add all of this up. So once when I add all of this, because it's saying the 7 results are added together, so if I add all of this up, I will get 105. I get 105. So after I get 105, it says I divide by 11. So I divide by 11, and I will get a remainder. So if I do 105 divided by 11, so let me just do 105 divided by 11. I'm getting 9.5. Okay, so I'll just say 9. So if it's 9, then the remainder will be 6. Okay, so therefore the check digit is 6. 9, remainder 6, right? So you can do the long division for this, but you will eventually get 9, remainder 6. Okay, because 11 times 9, 11 times 9 is 99. Then if I do 105 minus 99 is 6, so that's the remainder. So it says the remainder will be the check digit, so 6 is the check digit. So then it says that an operator has just keyed in the following number. So we have 32400. Circle below correct if the check digit is correct or incorrect. Okay, so we have to see this. Okay, now we use the same formula for the top one. You simply have to add where the values are, and then you simply divide by how many. Okay, so in this case you would divide by what? I think this time, okay, you do not need to divide. What you can do is you just add it all and then divide by 11 again. So I think with check digits you always divide by 11. So I'm going to add all of this, so it'll be 3 plus 4, 3 plus 4, and then 4 times 3 plus 12 plus 0 plus 0 plus 6 times 4, so 24 plus 35. 7 times 5, 35. If I add all of that up, I will get, let's do this, 3 plus 4 plus 12 plus 24 plus 35, which gives us 78. Okay, after it gives us 78, I can just simply do 78 divided by 11. So if I do 78 divided by 11, 78 divided by 11, I'm getting about 7. So if I do 11 times 7, I'm getting 77. So my remainder will only be 1. So therefore my check digit will be 1. So yeah, so this is an incorrect check digit. So I will simply put incorrect. Okay. So yeah, that's that. Now let's move on. Okay, so here we have 6 security issues and 6 descriptions are shown below. So draw a line to link. Okay, so let's say farming. So farming is basically when malicious code is installed on the user's hard drive, and then once it's redirected to a fake website and without the user's uh, awareness, and then that's that. So let's find that. So malicious code, I can already see it here. Malicious code. Phishing is a legitimate looking email that is sent to the user, and once when the user clicks on it, and is redirected to a fake focus website where the personal information can be taken. So let's look at this. Yep, it's right here. Viruses are basically replicates itself with the intention of gaining personal information or deleting or corrupting one of that. So let's say replicate. Ooh, okay, so yeah, there you go, replicate. Okay, replicate. Then we have hacking, which is the gaining of illegal access. So it's just the first one right there. Then we have spyware. Spyware, we talked about spyware. Basically, they look at your key presses and gain personal information. So there you go. They monitor your key presses on the user's keyboard, and data is sent to the originator. Then we have cookies. Cookies is basically it's not like a security threat, but basically it's a message given to the web browser by a web server, and then it stores the data. So the next time you come, it's all the data is already stored. So that's a good 5 marks there. Okay, the next one is number 11, which says 4 examples of an optical storage media are DVD, RW, DVD, RAM, CD-ROM, and then Blu-ray disc. Okay, so we have to now tick. Okay, so DVD, RW. Okay, so we can tick even more appropriate boxes. Okay, so DVD-R is a single track, and I think is red lasers. All DVD is red lasers. So let me, if I see DVD red laser, CD red laser, because DVD and CDs are red lasers. Blue is the only one that is blue laser. Okay, so I'm done with the easy parts. Next I do DVD RAM is many centric tracks, and then finally single tracks, I believe CD-ROM, and then Blu-ray discs. So DVD RAM don't have single tracks, it has many concentric tracks. Okay, then we have SSD, solid state drive, and basically uh, are replacing hard disk drives in some computers. Give 3 reasons why. Okay, number 1 is because you can also guess this and get the answers even if you're not revised, because you just have to think of ways something can be better. Like number 1, a good reason is always how fast you can get access to data. So you can say the SSD gets access to data very quick. Maybe you can also say it's quieter or cooler, like in terms of sound, and then maybe you can say that you need less power consumption, which is more energy efficient compared to the HDD. And I think that's it. That's that. And also HDD is much heavier, so the SSD can save space. So yeah, that's good. Explain why many web browsers still use hard disk drives. Now, those are all the advantages of SSD, but still HDD is a good technology to use because it's much cheaper and it can store large amounts of data, large storage space, even though it's heavy, but it can store a lot of storage there. Then we have HDD also is very good for the long term, uh, because it will be trustworthy to use it for the long term, meaning it won't get spoiled quickly, and it can read and write functions flawlessly throughout the time you have it. Also, it is also very expensive to change the technology in some, but then the HDD are trusted technology. So even though it is a bit expensive, it is much trusted. And then you also need no requirement to increase the speed of the SSD. So yeah, but with the HDD you can. So that's good. Let's move on. Name the following type of barcode. So you can say, so this one talks about, it gives you a barcode image, and you have to say what is this. Now this is common in many phones and everything. This is called a QR code. You've heard of it, and we know that. Okay, then it says the barcode in part A contains the Denner value 2640. Convert the value into hexadecimal. So to convert this into hexadecimal, you simply have to divide by 16, and then the sort of remainder is it? So if I do 2640 divided by 16, why am I doing divide by 16? Because it's base 16, you know. So let's just do this quickly. 2640 divided by 16 is 165. 165, remainder 0. If I do 165 divided by 16, I have about remainder 10. Sorry, I have to do this manually in it. So 16 times 10 is 160, so remainder 5, and then 160 divided by 16 is remainder 0. Sorry, is 10. 10. Okay. Yeah, it's 10. So the answer would then be 10 is A in hexadecimal. Always read from down to top. So A50. That's going to be answer. Write the 12-bit binary number. So for this, okay. So for this one, to calculate 0 is just 0, 0, 0, 0. For 5 is 1, 0, 1, 0. What you can do is just write 1, 2, 4, 8 and get the value for this. So 10 would be 4 plus 2 plus 8. Yeah, so 0, 1, 0, 1. And you got your value there. Okay, so this is the last question now, part C, and we have finished the entire paper then. So this one describes that the airport uses the type of barcode to advertise local places of interest. Describe how a visitor landing at the airport could use these barcodes to help plan their visit. Okay, so number one, they can scan the QR code just like before up here. You can scan the QR code and then directly get all the information on your mobile phone. Then this can link to websites where you can open the document and you can have an easy access to the information, and then you can store all of this from the QR code into your phone, so you won't be needing that information again, and it saves a lot of time because scanning the QR code will not take that long. So if you explain that all in your own words, you will get that correct. And we are done with this paper. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. This was the May-June 2016-0478. We finished this in 30 minutes because I was not writing it, but when you're doing your exam, take your time and write everything. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next computer science paper where I'll be covering the other papers in this series. So goodbye, and I'll see you in my next video.